For Connor early, that's kind of his style. He's a logical pitcher, sequencing. He's not trying to blow you away. It's really about the mix of how he sequences pitches. That's really a key to him, and it's more than a feeling. Obviously, Boston, we're here in Boston here, and for him, this race or not, or at least into a wild card.
Well, let's take a look at the defense as you get. We'll feature Wilyer Abreu on the Car Shield defensive player profile. 16 defensive, 15 defensive runs saved, and Bellinger 14. So 3 of the better outfielders in all of the game. Pitches outside were underway. Todd Tichenor, the home plate umpire. Tyler Jones at first. Clint Vondrak at second. Adam. One and one. Worst record in baseball. Only the Rockies are worse, and they just lost a series in Colorado. The Red Sox did.
12-25, and you think you build your club around your home ballpark. They don't. All their lefties don't go to left field. Like,
this is a team that won 87 games, 8th place in the American League East, and people here in Boston are stunned and they're somewhat angered as well. 2.
so David, as a pitcher, how much is Connolly early?
Certainly would watch just every left-handed pitcher against the Yankees, especially ones that are similar to you. I don't know early, more more of a mix master.
Foul back.
He can hump it up. He gets his pitches, and he needs to kind of be on the edges a little bit.
Well, when he was in high school, he was throwing only 82 to 85 and ended up leaving.
In 2. Take a look at his arsenal on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
You got to think about average Major League fastballs now around 93, 94 miles an hour.
Be off the monster. Goldschmidt's going to go for 2. The throw by Rafaela is not in time.
Because he gives you long at-bats, and he gives you productive at-bats. Another long at-bat against the starter, 7/8 like this. He's got a great arm. He's very accurate, has a number of assists. You got to run the whole way. The other ballpark, you don't have to kill yourself, but at this ballpark, you always do.
With Ben Rice, travel situation last night. They took off. They had some hydraulic issues. The plane had to go back and land. They had Connolly early travel early, so he was not part of that.
In the pregame about it was a West Coast trip, and they didn't have a day off today. Usually when you come home from the West Coast,
now the Yankees were 2 in the morning coming from Detroit, but they had sent Cam Slitler ahead, and he took a plane. Goldschmidt just draws the throw. Until Todd Tichenor behind the plate, the umpire scattered overturned. 20th big league season. He's the crew chief. Fewer high strikes on righties, fewer low strikes. David, I'm a
sometimes together.
Here is a Medwards.
tell Andy they need to send me ahead, not you ahead. I'm doing all the thinking.
1-0.
Not to see Rosario in there against the left-hander last night, but with Weathers on, they chose the defense at third base.
Hit sharply and through for base hit. Goldschmidt had to hold up, so they're going to hold him at third as Duran.
Yeah, another good at bat by a left-handed hitter, and with all these outfielders with the Boston Reds, look at Duran. He has 5 assists. Rafael has 4, and Abreu has 7, and that's why Goldie doesn't even.
Aaron Judge was not with the covering on the IL. 0-2.
Maybe they saw all these lefties pitching and trying to get in the lineup.
Here, Fenway Park, those 2 guys.
3-0.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He waved at that.
Strike out a lot. This is really a good sweeper. You see, it starts basically at him and ends up on the outside. Curveball has a lot of sweep as well.
So here's Jason Dominguez. Now that average went up. up the middle. Goldschmidt scores. Rosario will stop at second. It's an RBI.
Gained a lot of confidence from the ball that he hit out yesterday against Skubal, and it just carries over into wait to see a pitch. He said, if I get a good pitch to hit, I'm going to swing at it. And it was a breaking ball up in the zone. Worry about hitters trying to pull the ball and hit the ball over the left field wall too much, but he was great.
Here at Fenway.
Were so important, especially when you have a guy like Cam Schlittler on the mound, that you can score first. You know, you hear the old cliche, he's got Cam Schlittler on the mound, now you got a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and they know who's on the mound. That's the other thing. You know who's field in a game that you wouldn't necessarily do in you know, in some of the other games. You know, there's not a lot of runs scored.
Makes the upper deck, but foul.
Man, that was a good swing. Just a
Runners will go 3-2. Two men left. Yankees won. Boston Red Sox come to bat.
Jump off of the page. I mean, this kid's on top of the world. You want to imagine a dragon, put him on the mound. He is a dragon on the mound, and X is going to give it to you. That's obviously different, but paint the town red like Doja Cat. He's had a little thing going on up here with New England. Yeah, maybe has a good game here. You're going to paint the town. What I said.
But we've got a big enough budget that we get DMX to do the second one. Yeah, he's not available, unfortunately. Check out the Yankee defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Caballeros behind the plate. We saw Paul Goldschmidt as the DH.
So you had a 4-seed. Did you rely on your catcher? With three pitches like that, some hitters are going to hit the sinker better than the 4-seed.
Really tried to zero in on the hitter's reaction every pitch. There's feedback. First, there's two types of feedback. Where the rest of it, I trusted you with. You know, in terms of what you were doing behind the plate, the sequencing of pitches, what you saw for feedback from the hitter, how he reacted. Was he late? What's he looking like?
With hitters, when you throw them a breaking ball, they nod their head. Yes, okay, I got you. Man, I was coming back with another, because if you had it,
one thing leads to another. There, if you see that graphic, when you throw that many strikes, you can get chases because you're all constant.
2-2.
Well, the reason I asked the question is I look at Rafael and I looked at his numbers against. He's thrown him 3 out of 4 cutters.
That was a strike.
Wing at that. I mean, that's a strike the whole way.
Rafaela with 1 out.
He is built for this ballpark because he goes to left field extremely well, and I think it's another reason why he
stolen base for Rafaela. That's his 10th of the year.
And you put that in the back of your mind and say, okay, we're going to drop the mid the next time you do that, and let you know that. And it could come from the third baseman in a sense. You know, it would be easy the third baseman to give you the sign.
Ground ball, Rosario.
Oh, catcher's interference.
Catcher's interference.
I couldn't understand when they showed the replay. He was clapping, and why was he clapping? But again, the ball, I think it's happening too much. You know, Michael needs my whiteout.
Catcher's interference more than any time in baseball.
Yeah, Todd Tichenor was all over it.
Here's Contreras. Spots for the Red Sox, 280, 16 homers, 46 ribbies, and they needed to add offense during the offseason. I thought he would be.
And of this year, and you start You miss Trevor Story, who led their team in so many categories, hits.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
The ladder, that's the way you do it. Contreras is a free swinger. He got ahead.
And I would say a good portion of the chases, you know, we showed that graphic of all the chases he gets, are up in the zone because he does.
Throws it into center field. Bellinger will get it in right for the Yankees all year, but he threw it out of the reach of Volpe.
Turn around. You kind of hope that if you see that he's getting back, you just don't throw.
Jarren Duran's been struggling. Hitless. .97 right by him, 1-1.
Yeah, he's got great velocity on his cutter tonight. A lot of times you see that.
Chisholm gets Duran, and they work around the bad defense as the Red Sox strand 2. 3-6 bottom third of the order. Jazz does have 2 home runs in 5 games against the Red Sox this year. The Red Sox play 4 series during the season. This will be the 3rd. 1 more to go at Yankee Stadium. Leadoff single for Jazz.
Yeah, that's not something you see Jazz do a lot. Take the ball the other way like that. The zone. And he's got such great hands and quick hands. And he's got like that buggy whip that.
Yes.
On a swing in last night's game, Caballero grabbed his back. He stayed in the game. Before the game, I said, how's your back? He said, hurts. How's your foot? It hurts. How's your calf? It hurts. He said, but everything's good enough to go.
The 2 balls off of his leg.
Tries to bunt, and they get the force at second. Nice play.
Clubhouse, I have to stop hurting myself already, and everybody kind of started laughing. Now you see he wears that one, name it, he has it, but finds them all uncomfortable. If it were up to him, he would wear nothing, but says it is either get hurt or wear that one. Everything else, he says, just depends how I'm feeling. They're all kind of optional.
He's a mess.
In training. Then you just have to play through things. Wells fouls it away. Actually hitting 300. It's been an offensive sinkhole so far this year, but that's not the case.
This is where Early's fastball plays up. It's 95, which is decent velocity, but you see.
Back to the top of the order in Gulch.
So right where Narvaez was holding his glove there, he was kind of holding it belt high in. It's kind of where he hit the home run, that the guy would peek back a little bit and then go to the opposite side the next pitch.
Warfare, the little tricks of the trade.
Well, catchers sit down the middle more than we ever did because they just
snap throw to first, and Caballero dodged back. And they were raving about how great Skubal looked, and to a man they said that's how you beat him. Hit a 3, and that was enough. But they loved his stuff. I have no idea.
He's got what, 4 home runs and 13 at bats off of him?
Run it to. Now he's not on the ballot because he wasn't expected to be a starter, but he's playing much more because of the injury.
And I think the insurance policy of Ben Rice off of left-handers too. Like, how good was he going to be? Good.
Runner goes again. No throw. Stolen base for Caballero. That's his 18th of the year.
To throw on that one down and in because you have to wait so long before you move your feet. But you look at what he's done. Home runs in 54 games. He hasn't done that since 2015. You got to go back a long ways.
Team overall has the best depth that we've seen in the Aaron Boone era because of guys like Goldschmidt.
Yes.
Yeah, deadline, maybe some maneuvering in the bullpen. Carlos Legrand, maybe an addition on down the road. Well, they will.
Between the two teams, if the Red Sox don't get going, the pieces that they might move, a Chapman, a Contreras, they have 32 wins.
Caballero on second, Goldschmidt's on first. That one just missed. It's going to be challenged by Narvaez. So ABS presents.
The pitch is a ball. Boston has one challenge remaining.
So an interesting note on the catcher Narvaez. Used the machine, had him work on stuff. Since then, he's been 10-5, and that was the 5th one that he had missed. He had
swing and a miss, 3-2. Well, I'll do it again.
That was the slider to hit right there. He left that one middle in, something that.
Just noticed, you know, looking around the crowd here, another packed house. I don't think I've ever been here.
Hit sharp play for the final out. Yankees get a hit, but they leave two.
He is not satisfied. When I caught up with him after his bullpen in between starts in Detroit, after an outing, where my lines to the plate, also making sure he stays on top of the ball and throwing his four-seam fastball. He said at times this season that has stood out to him this season has been Schlittler's ability to make adjustments, not only in game, but in between too. But Michael, one thing he said to me in Detroit that I found interesting, he said he doesn't get the added adrenaline boost in young career.
It seems like he certainly has their number, and the fans tried to get in his head. That's 2-1 on Durbin. Durbin got off to a terrible start. Last 7 games, 11 for 24. See what's popped up. Schlittler looks and it falls. It's a base hit.
Coney, you got to go get that if you go after it. This is he's very consistent in all of his movements. You can see that he has command of his. You're the catcher. You got to say, get it, Camp, get it, Camp, you know, as loud as you can.
Scored a base hit.
Well, and the reason this is somewhat of an issue for me is Sox. These extra pitches add up.
Pitches. Grounded. Second base. They have one play. They make it at first.
But on one like that, right in front of you, that was you kind of got to try to go get that one. I agree with you.
And here is Narvaez. Certainly not having the offensive season he had last year. He's lost a lot of playing time early. 4th straight start behind the plate for early. And 7th time in the last 9.
As a manager and as a catcher, idea of what that person's rhythm was, what was working for him his last start, what I felt comfortable I could go to. I got to know him
without putting the label personal catcher on
yes.
it, but nonetheless it helps. It works. Was one of the best craftsmen I ever saw.
And he gets hit. So on 0-2.
Because Durbin had his attention as he kept looking back, and he leaves this cutter inside. And it was
the feedback we were talking about last inning. There's some feedback on every pitch, and the feedback on that was a cutter that he left arm side up, and the mechanical adjustment that you need to make based on the flight of the ball.
There's Marcelo Meyer. Under interim manager Chad Tracy, Red Sox. And they kind of shocked the world when they got rid of a very well-regarded, and it has not worked out because the team continues to struggle. And Boone, who's close with Cora, does Cora help him out? Give them little inside secrets when they face the Red Sox?
They're friends. I'm sure he does.
And Cora's actually back in Boston. He's here to watch.
No, you got the pad.
Coney way, other way. Inside out.
On Meyer. Durbin has 7 stolen bases, and as Joe said, he certainly got the.
If he can help him a little bit, he should just focus on the hitter, because that's where you're going to get hurt. It's an easy.
Second strikeout for Schlittler, 2 down.
He's talked about his fastball. He throws a lot of fastballs, but they do something different every time. And when he wants to put you way up top, that's the one with the hop on it.
King away, is it coming in or does it have ride?
Yoshida has not gone well. 7 for 38.
That's probably why he's in there.
That one is back to Schlittler. He fields this one and get.